The first step towards creating accurate geometry is knowing that you can enter linear measurements as you draw. The next step is knowing how to control the direction of your line work. In this lesson, we'll explore the ortho and polar mode settings. I'm going to start by launching the line command, and I'll pick a point on screen, and let's say I would like to create a perfect square that measures 3 by 3. Well, I could pull to the right, type 3 and hit enter, and then I could pull down and type 3 and hit enter. But you know what? I guarantee that the angles at which I'm pulling these lines are not accurate. This guy is not horizontal, and this one is definitely not vertical. I'll tell you what, let's remove some of this line work. To do that, I will come back and click on undo, and undo to back up where I started. Now, I'm going to come down and turn on my ortho mode. To do that, I'll come down to the status bar and click the ortho mode icon. Note that we can also toggle this tool by pressing F8. When I do, you can see that this restricts my cursor movement to 90-degree increments, which is actually perfect. If I want to draw a square, now I can simply pull to the right and type 3 and enter. I'll come down 3 and hit enter. I'll come over 3 and then I'm going to come down and click close to close my shape. Knowing what we know now, let's try and recreate the geometry on the right side of the screen. I'm going to press my spacebar to relaunch line. I'll pick my starting point. I'm going to be starting in the lower right corner. I'll work my way around clockwise. So, I will pull to the left 4 units and hit enter. I'll come up 4.5, enter, and I will come over 2.25, and then it becomes a race to see who gets this finished first, you or me. I'm going to come over 5, I'm going to come down, that measurement should have been 2.5. I'll come over 1 and 1/4, and then I will finish my shape by clicking close. As you can see, by restricting the direction of our cursor to 90-degree increments, it's very easy to create accurate geometry. Now, what if you'd like to snap 2 additional angles? Well, that's what the polar setting is for. Let's take a look. I'm going to pan my geometry over. I'll launch the line command again and pick a point on screen. You can see that the ortho is still locked. I'm going to come down and click the icon right next to ortho. This guy stands for polar tracking. Note that we can also toggle this tool using the F10 key. When I turn it on and move my cursor, you'll see that polar allows us to snap to 90-degree increments by default. So if I wanted to draw line horizontal on my screen, I could simply pull to the right and type a distance like 5 and hit enter. I can also draw 2 other angles if I wish. But as long as I get close to an even 90, I can snap to that direction. I'm going to press escape to finish my line. Let's launch the command again, and let's say I would like to create a diamond shape that measures 3 by 3. I'll start by picking my first point on screen, and you can see that 90 is nice here, but really I'd like to snap to a different angle. Let's change our polar angle. To do that, I'll come down and right click on the polar icon, and I will select the new angle from this list. I'm going to choose 45, and you can see that I now snapped every 45-degree increment. So to create my diamond, I'll pull up into the right, I'll type 3, enter, I'll come down to the right, 3, enter, we'll come over 3, and then I'll click close to finish my shape. Knowing what we know now, let's see if we can recreate this geometry. I'll start by relaunching the line command. I'll pick a point in the lower right corner, and I will pull to the left 5 units. I'll come up 10 units, making sure that I'm snapped to the angle when I hit enter. And you know what? At this point, you may be wondering, can you take a jump back and forth between polar and ortho? Sure you can. I could come down and turn my ortho back on, and I could come over 5 units. I can come down 1.23. At this point, I need a 45-degree angle. I'll come over and turn my polar back on. I will take care of this distance 2.5. I'll come down 4. I'll come over 2.5, and when I'm finished, I'll click close. And since I'm finished creating geometry for now, I'm going to come down and turn my polar mode back off. As you can see, the ortho and polar modes allow us to control the direction in which our line segments are drawn, making it very easy to construct accurate geometry.